Hi, everyone. We are here, the Real Estate Ladies of North Atlanta, Susan Jennings, Mary Ellen Benakin. How are you doing today, Sue?
I'm doing great. Mary Ellen, how are you?
I'm doing great. So we have some great stuff today. First, we're going to talk about 15 ways to find a great investment property, which I think everybody needs to know this information. We're going to talk about a community called Berkeley Mill in Cumming by Pulte Homes. Then we're going to talk about what we love about North Atlanta, and we're going to talk about pet grooming, which I think is so important because everyone has a pet here. And then we're going to dig into focus on your outdoor living. All right, so let's get into it and talk about 15 ways to find a great investment property.
Well, first of all, you need to connect with a great agent and somebody who knows investments and knows the area and is tech savvy. And that would be somebody like Mary Ellen or myself. We're both very investor friendly. We've worked with a lot of investors, but what's important is we know the local area and we can identify potential investment properties.
Yeah.
Second is...
Let me just get into the first one.
Okay.
About investments, because you have to know your strategy of what you want to do in investments. And also, like, a lot of people now are doing 1031 exchanges. So that's something you need to know about. And we can facilitate that. We can help do that so that you can save in taxes, because everyone wants to do 1031 exchange. So don't go with an agent who's never done them before. Please go with someone who has experience and can guide you in the right direction. So I just wanted to put that little tidbit, because
that's a very good point, by the way, about the 1031 exchanges. You know, I talked to an investor a couple months ago. She's got 3 properties she wants to sell because she's close to retirement, but she's like really afraid of the taxes. But her properties have increased significantly in value. And so a 1031 exchange is a great opportunity for someone like that, you know, just has so much equity built up in her properties and really could make, you know, pave the way through her retirement as well.
Yeah. And okay, why don't we tell our viewers that don't know, what is a 1031 exchange? So, go ahead.
Well, basically, you're selling your existing property, which maybe you bought at a lower price. It's now worth a lot more. Maybe it's in a different state and you want to, you know, divest from that particular state, go to a different state, different location. But you have a certain number of days from a tax standpoint to purchase a new property and just roll all of that into the new property as well.
Perfect. And I just got off the phone just a couple minutes ago with the client who is going to we're going to work with them on a 1031 exchange. They're going to sell one of their investment properties here in Georgia. They might go into some commercial. They don't know the direction, but we're going to guide them in that right direction as we sell their properties. So, all right,
great.
Number 2.
So, you know, we have access to the MLS system. This is one of the best ways to be able to identify properties. It's far better than, you know, trying to rely on Realtor.com, Bing, Zillow, all these other different sites. But, you know, you have to be an agent to truly have access to this. So that's why you need an investor-friendly real estate agent. We can set up multiple searches for you depending upon what your goals are in different areas, different types of properties, and, you know, really stay on top of different price points, whether they're multifamily, single family, and that sort of thing. So that is a key component to being able to identify, you know, a great investment property.
Yeah, and also we can find off-market properties. I know everyone's like, I want an off-market property. I want a foreclosure. I want this. Well, we do have, you know, not always can we find you an off-market property. We do have a lot of connections. And I think that that's important, that you have an agent who is willing to go out and do the extra mile to find you what you're looking for if it's not on the market, to find you the subdivision you want to be in for your investment properties. I think that's really important too.
Right. And there are a lot of different, you know, techniques that we use to identify properties that are not currently listed, but might have somebody living in it or owning it that is interested in potentially selling it. So that is something that we are experienced with and I've done 6 properties in like the last year that way. Seriously, it's just,
It's connecting. It's who
It's
you
the
know.
connection. Yeah. It's
Yeah, and
knowing who to call and knowing who's ready
exactly.
to sell and just doesn't have it listed on the market. Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
I think if you're going to be an investor, one of the things that's really important is that you dedicate 3 to 5 hours a week to your craft, so to speak, to educate yourself, to, seek out new listings, new updates, things that might have changed in the market, and also to look at what things have been selling for, because the market here can change quite rapidly. And so you need to stay on top of it. So if you're planning on being an investor, dedicate 3 to 5 hours a week of doing your research and your homework.
Yes. Yes, that's a must. I think you really need to know what's going on in the market. And of course, having a real estate professional at
Mhm.
your fingertips, they can get you a lot more information too, as well, of like history of properties. Yes, you can find stuff, but we can dig in and find a little bit more information than the stuff you can find yourself online. So reach out to us and ask us. We're more than happy to provide you with that information too.
Right, right. So, we do have a lot of, access to for sale by owners, but, as an investor, you can also explore that avenue as well, looking at Zillow for sale by owner, Facebook Marketplace, militarybyowner.com, yard signs. These are all other techniques that you can use as an investor to seek out new properties.
Yeah, it's become so popular. I'm sorry, like
Mhm.
Facebook Marketplace, and they're like, we don't want to deal with agents. We just want to sell the house by ourselves. But how many times does that not happen, that they end up using an agent or for sale by owning or whatever? So yeah, and remember, if you do see something that you see online that's not in the MLS, reach out to us, then we can
Mhm.
most likely get in touch, show that property. And I will say, we do have a lot of investors that are physically not in Georgia. So they go
Right.
solely by us. So they can find something online, but they're not going to be able to go visit it. So we'll go visit it for them
Right.
and tell them the lowdown and tell them our opinion on the property.
Yeah, Mary Ellen and I work with several investors that aren't even in this country.
Right.
So some of them are in Europe, some of them are in Asia, they're all over the place. So, that's why we're also a great resource. If you're looking to sell a property, we can make connections. Because we do a lot of networking. We do build relationships with other investors, with local contractors, small home builders, Facebook groups, and so forth. That's all, things that we've developed over years and years of working in the industry.
And I have just something I wanted to ask from our viewers. If you were to buy an investment property, where would you buy one right now?
Yeah.
Would you buy it overseas? Would you buy it in Costa Rica? Would you buy it in Germany? Where would you buy investment property? And what is your goal? Is it a second home, investment property? There's so many different things. And literally, if you own one property, your first investment property can be a second home. And
Right.
so that you get better situation there. And you have to know the ins and outs of that. But remember, we can help you anywhere in the world. So if you say, hey, I want to invest in, I don't know, Europe, somewhere in Europe, like Belgium or Germany or France, well, we have connections there. We have great agents in those cities across the world that can help you, that do business like we do, and help you. Like, really hot now is like the Bahamas or something. I mean, people are like, well, why not? Why not would you not want to live in the Bahamas or have an investment property in the Bahamas? So, depends on your
Yeah,
budget.
and they probably don't have the HOA restrictions that we have here.
But their HOA fees are pretty high there, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
That seems to be the problem, in Florida right now with a lot of the condos and stuff. So we can dig into it.
So, you can use a great agent, but other things you can do, you can look at online investment groups for ideas, using simple keywords such as homes for rent or sale. Real estate investors would be another set of keywords. Property wholesalers might be keywords. So, maybe you want to sign up for some mailing lists through these property wholesalers so that you can build relationships with them directly if you feel that they are trustworthy. Buyer beware. I'm always cautious, and that's why using, a licensed agent to, check things out for you is always a good strategy, because we will look at their reputation, we will look at their business practices, and we can tell you, maybe you want to stay away from that. Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't we pursue that? So, we keep in touch with landlords. We keep in touch with other investors. We do call, for sale by owner signs. Sometimes for rent by owner is another avenue where we make connections. We get to know property managers in the area who are managing tenants. And through a recent property that I just sold, it was because I got to know the property manager, and the property manager contacted me and said, the owner's interested in selling, wants to do this kind of quietly and quickly. Who do you know? And I was able to turn that transaction around in 2 to 3 weeks. And it was a cash sale, was done very quietly. And, the transaction was done, and everybody, got what they wanted and moved on their merry way. But often property managers will know when tenants are about to move out, when a property is about to come onto the market. So those are all good connections as well. If you can afford it, you might want to even take up a direct mail campaign for a particular neighborhood or subdivision or area. That's a little bit expensive if this is not, your full-time job, but you can contact specific homeowners that way, using Every Door Direct or PropStream, Remind, SmartZip, RPR. These are all tech aspects or different technology
And
pieces
tools.
where you can tools is the word I'm looking for, to get address information. Yes.
Yeah. And I think, that is really important, that there's just so many different ways and avenues to get this information. And one thing, you really have to do your research, because a lot of people, schools are really important to people, and crime rate is really important to people coming from other parts of the country. And they will Google to make sure. We cannot give guidance in that. All we can do is give you.
Right. We can't tell you demographic information at all. That's something you've got to look up on your own, and that's totally fine. We expect that you will do that homework for your home, and then tell us, I want these schools, or I want this particular zip code or area. And we don't need to know why, but we cannot, lead you along on any of that. Our recommendation is that you do your own research. Also, one thing you want to research is how you're going to pay for the property. We do connect with lenders that can assist you with investor-friendly financing. Generally, you do have to put more money down when you're purchasing an investment property than you would on a primary property, or a lot of our investors do pay cash. So good starting point is to talk to an investor-friendly mortgage lender. We can introduce you to some. You can talk to 2 or 3, get yourself pre-qualified, and then that way, when we do identify a property for you, we can quickly close on that property and offer, those lenders all offer great product solutions.
Sure, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Lenders are important, and having relationships with lenders are important, because
Right.
Get it to the closing table. And that's really important when you're investing and working on getting you the best rates, because investor rates are up. I don't know if the average person knows this, but investment rates are higher.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Right. You can have an 800 credit score, but your interest rate for an investment is going to be higher than if you bought a primary home.
Right. Right. So, it might be worth your time and your investment value to, save your money and maybe think about paying cash or almost entirely cash for your investment property. You can save a lot in the long run that way. There are different strategies that you can employ, like we said, but one of them is to focus on estate sales. Look for properties in probate, perhaps, where, something that can close quickly because the home is vacant. That's another approach that you might want to take. And real estate auctions is another one. Be prepared to bid on multiple properties. You may not even be able to see the property before you bid on it. It could be a sight unseen purchase. You can also check tax delinquency lists. Look for sellers that are behind in their taxes. This is an option to find somebody who's really motivated to sell because they're underwater from that standpoint. You can also place Google and Facebook ads and target preferred areas that you're looking for homes in and the type of property that you're searching for. Another one that's really interesting, I love to see their billboards too, is We Buy Ugly Houses. They do work with motivated sellers all the time. So maybe that's somebody that you could contact, a company you could contact in terms of trying to purchase a property through them.
Great. So we just went over 15 ways to find a great investment property. So we'd like to know, where would you buy an investment property if you had the money? And where would your favorite place be? I don't know. And what is your strategy? What's your strategy on investments? Or your strategy is Airbnb-ing it, short-term rental, long-term rental, take a property, fix it up and flip it. I mean, so there's so many different strategies when it comes to investing in real estate. So I think you have to stick to the strategy that you want and the goals that you want to meet to build your wealth, because really this is all about building wealth is when it comes to investing.
And you really need to dig into the numbers and understand what your expenses are going to be, because you really should have, a business plan established for your investment properties, and you should know what your ROI, your expected ROI is for your investment at all times so that you're making good choices.
And you also have to have money saved away for those unexpected expenses. And if you're doing a long-term rental, you have to know that sometimes it's not going to be rented. And you're still responsible for that mortgage payment, whether somebody's in the place or not. So remember those type of things. So it's just like owning a house. There is a lot of risk in it too that people don't realize. There is a lot of risk in investments, just like there is in the stock market, just like anything. When you invest in it, there's an opportunity to make money. There's an opportunity to lose money. So put that into effect. But having a business plan, I think, is the best thing that you can do. Like, I want to buy one investment property for 5 years, blah, blah, blah. What you want to do and how you want to build your wealth. And I think that was great tips, Sue. All right. So we're going to dig into our next segment, which is our neighborhood highlight. And today we are talking about Berkeley Mill in Cumming by Pulte Homes, right?
Right. So Berkeley Mill is located in South Forsyth. It features innovatively designed, expertly crafted new construction homes in Cumming, Georgia. They will be building a future pool and cabana with a playground in this community so that it, has beautiful amenities. It has rolling hills and, the acres in which the community's been being built on. And it's actually in a very sought after area. There are 172 homes, single homes being built there. There's 2 different collections of homes with a total of 9 floor plans to choose from. The Summit collections start at $551,990 and go up from there. And they generally range in size from 2,400 to 3,158 square feet. The reserve collection, those are larger floor plans of 2,821 square feet on up. And these homes start at $647,990. So this community is about 4 miles from the park, a park and boat ramp on Lake Lanier. It's 5 minutes to downtown Cumming and just minutes off of Georgia 400. The schools are Cumming Elementary School, which has a student-teacher ratio of 1 to 11. There's about 948 students enrolled in that school. At Otwell Middle School, the student-teacher ratio is 1 to 13, and there's over 1,000 students in that school. And then Forsyth Central High School has a ratio of 1 to 15 with 2387 for this past year's student enrollment. The community is located at 1735 Pilgrim Road in Cumming.
Okay, great. And we just showed you a little bit what you can get in the new construction. This is what you can get in the new construction. Sorry, I lost something for a second. So we're back in, and we're going to talk about what we love about North Atlanta today. And this is kind of exciting, I always think, because everybody has pets, don't they? Pretty much.
Everybody does. It's a very pet-friendly, pet-happy area in the...
Yes, Atlanta's very pet-friendly. Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what we love about North Atlanta is the some top pet grooming locations.
Pet groomers, yeah, they do very well here, I think, because their services are always in demand. But the first one is
Okay, so the first one we're talking about is, oh, we lost her for a second. So are you there?
Okay, sorry.
You're there. You're back and ready to attack. Okay.
Right. So the first one is in Alpharetta, Georgia. It's called Groomology.
Groomology.
And it's celebrated for its over-the-top pet grooming experience. It boasts expert grooming specialists, including a lead stylist with over a decade of experience who has trained more than 200 professional groomers nationwide.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we have so many fancy smancy things here in Alpharetta. I don't go to that pet grooming place, I can tell you that.
Well, the next one I'm going to talk about is in Roswell. It's called Fur Baby Royal Grooming and Boarding. They're known for their thoughtful and consistent care. This establishment offers customized grooming plans in a family-friendly environment, leveraging the owner's vet tech experience to ensure pets are comfortable and well treated.
Oh, okay.
Number 3 on my list is in Milton, Georgia, and it's called Julian's Pet Grooming. With over 50 years of service, this family-owned shop provides all breed grooming, earning praise for its accommodating staff, personalized treatment, and quality care that leaves pets looking their best.
Nice.
And number 4 is called Shedding Clean Pet Grooming. It's located in Alpharetta, Georgia. Customers comment that this groomer has exceptional service, expert grooming, and competitive pricing, highlighting that the staff is very, very friendly and kind, and they're very dedicated to their grooming experience for their stress-free pets.
Nice.
And the last one on my list today is in Roswell, Georgia. It's number 5. It's Olga's Pet Grooming. It's renowned for its personalized, stress-free grooming sessions. Olga's ensures each pet looks fantastic, feels happy, and the owner frequently praises Olga for her consistent care and grooming skills.
Wow. It's amazing, in the past, 10 years, how these groomers have just popped up, because everybody wants their animal to look like, like we go and get our hair done. They need to get their hair done, and they get groomed, whatever, once a month or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks. It depends on how fast their hair grows, and they put bows in their hair and all kinds of things.
I saw a dog walking down the sidewalk in Alpharetta the other day that had a blue tail.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is exciting. So we have a question. Do you take your pet to a groomer, and how often do you do? Like, I know we have an Australian Shepherd Collie mix, and Lumi is about close to 70 pounds and 65 to 70 pounds. And she has that beautiful black hair. And here in Georgia, it just gets so hot. So we go about every 2 months. Like, we don't really put it on the books. It's like when we know she needs to get it groomed, she goes and gets groomed. So I'm not like as fanatical. It's more for her feeling cooler in the heat. So during the warmer seasons, probably more often than in the cooler seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
and what about the mobile pet grooming?
Yes, I've done that before. That was great. I mean, I have to admit, my other dog, Mo, does not like anyone touching his nails, doing anything. So he would probably have a heart attack if I took him to a groomer. Like, we put him in the tub and we wash him up and everything like that. He's a terrier mix. He's about 30 pounds, and he's, a little on the older side. He's 12. But he runs around, but he just would not do the grooming. Like, I had another dog before that, and they just got nervous to the groomers. It's funny. So I guess you have to just make sure your dog is comfortable with the person you're using too, and they don't have so much anxiety and stuff. Because a lot of animals actually have anxiety going to the vet and going to the pet groomer. So you have to take that into effect. And some of them just love to do it. I mean, it's their thing. So, so that's really interesting. Okay. So what we love about North Atlanta is all the pet grooming places, especially in the Alpharetta, Milton area, and they are popping up like it's going out of style. All right, so we're going to talk about our design tip of the day. And today we're going to talk about focus on outdoor living. Mm-hmm. And I think just not during the pollen season, like for 3 weeks, the pollen is horrible in Atlanta. It was the highest it's ever been, like 14,000 whatever the other day.
It was double the historical high.
So I don't know why we got so much pollen this year, but that's one thing. Once the pollen's gone, it's great, because then you just wash down everything outside and you just start fresh, and it's kind of really cool. You don't see all that yellow stuff all over your car and all over your furniture outside and stuff like that. So let's dig into focus on outdoor living, which I think has become so popular.
Outdoor living is a real top priority for a lot of homeowners and our buyers here in the Atlanta area, because our climate is so mild and you really get a lot of use out of outdoor living space. We have a lot of natural beauty here. Atlanta was built in a forest, and so we have a lot of trees, hence a lot of the pollen we talked about. But our lifestyle is, focused on relaxation, exercise, and entertaining. Buyers in general like to seek out homes that have spacious patios, screened porches, outdoor kitchens, resort-style pools. And you can use them a long time here in Georgia. You can use them, almost all year round. So we also have a ton of parks and trails and golf courses hereby. So if the homeowner unfortunately doesn't have this amazing outdoor retreat in their backyard, they can unwind in so many other parks and so forth that we have here. But in general, having outdoor space adds a lot of value to a home. It makes certain properties much more desirable. So it's really something that if you are looking to sell and you really want to boost your value, talk about zhuzhing up that outdoor living space, and it can really, make the decision for a buyer that's looking for a home in your area. It can make it much more competitive in the real estate market. Features you might want to consider adding would be a fire pit. Covered seating is big here because we do get hot summers. High-end landscaping, enhance that curb appeal and so forth. And in luxury markets like Alpharetta, Milton, and Roswell, buyers like that indoor-outdoor feel of living. They like retractable doors.
Yes.
They like integrated entertainment systems, outdoor speakers, outdoor TVs. They want the home to be their family to be able to move easily through the home, around the home, to socialize, relax. And outdoor spaces in general have become a must-have for homes in the North Atlanta area.
Especially outdoor kitchens. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
have to have the big green egg. You have to have the Blackstone. You have to have the fryer to make your Belgian fries, excuse me. Then you also have to have your pizza oven because everyone has a pizza oven now. So you have all that stuff out there. So it's, I want to ask from our viewers, what is your favorite outdoor living space? Is it an outdoor kitchen? Is it a fire pit? Is it a pool? Is it a sauna? I'm sorry, like a spool? Is it, a hot tub? What's your favorite, Sue?
Oh my gosh, all of the above.
I know.
All of the above.
I love outdoor space. Like we live outdoor, like in the summertime, like we'll be in our screened in porch with the TV and the couch and everything and the fan going on, and it's nice and cool. And it's just really a fun thing. Fire pit's great. Fireplace is great. Outdoor kitchen, like I said, indoor out. But one of my favorite things, like you talked about, is the indoor outdoor space where you have those retractable doors and you just go from inside to outside.
Right.
Every client that has had that it's not the best during pollen season, I can tell you that. But honestly, besides pollen season of that, like 2 weeks of that pollen, otherwise having those doors open and having the indoor outdoor space, everyone likes watching their favorite sports or movies out on their deck with TVs and things like that. So
yeah, you want that TV to swivel so that as you're sitting in your hot tub in your pool, you can still watch TV.
I know I swear outdoor space has become so popular. Outdoor living, everyone loves it. Whether you have a small teeny weeny townhouse or a house or a bigger house, it's like everybody has it. Everybody I know just talks about their outdoor kitchen, their outdoor space, their fire pit, just kind of hanging out there. So too.
And I do have a shout out today.
Yes.
To a really great outdoor living retailer.
Okay.
It's Barbecue Guys. They're located in Halcyon at exit 12 of Georgia 400. They will design the kitchen, your outdoor kitchen space of your dreams. And they have all different brands of product for you to choose from so that you can, manage your budget as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Well, thank you for that shout out. So, and if you need help with anything when it comes to outdoor living space, reach out to us because we have clients that have done all different crazy things outside, or
including ourselves.
Yes, including ourselves. Or you can have an engineer husband who designed it himself and built it himself from scratch. So I can know the ins and outs of that one too. So there you go. All right. So today we talked about 15 ways to find a great investment property. Our neighborhood highlight was Berkeley Mill in Cumming by Pulte Homes. We talked about what we love about North Atlanta, which is the pet grooming situation. And then one of our favorite places is focus on outdoor living. So reach out to us. Let us know what you like or what you want to hear. And thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.